Hey friends, welcome to my first video about my pregnancy journey. So this is going to be my first video about how I first found out I was pregnant and all about my first trimester symptoms. So how I first found out, I was at work and as an elementary school teacher, and for days in a row, like 5 consecutive days, I felt very queasy around the same time every day, approximately around 10 o'clock. I would just feel so queasy. And it started on that Monday, and then once it got to Wednesday and Thursday, I kept looking around you know, with little kids, you're probably thinking, is there a stomach virus going around? I was just really investigating hard around the end of the week, what in the world is going on? And even teachers would start to notice that I wasn't my usual self. And so by the middle and end of the week, they were like, you feeling any better? And I'm like, no. Because something was wrong and I could not put my finger on it. So there's this Bojangles by my job. And I never stop at this Bojangles, but it was a Friday, it was the end of the week, it was an early release day, and I never stopped at the Bojangles, but for some reason that day, I was craving potatoes, and I was like, ooh, potatoes, ooh, potatoes. Ooh, potatoes. So I remember turning into the Bojangles, and I love their potato rounds. My boyfriend put me on. I be tearing them things up. And so all I wanted was these potato rounds. And I got them, I bit into one, and I spit it out immediately because y'all, it was this nasty, weird, chalky, chemical taste in my mouth. And I was like, what is going on? This is crazy. What is this? I did not eat them. I couldn't eat them. Didn't even chew it. And that's when I knew. I was like, you know what? I'm about to Google this real quick. So I started putting things together. The queasiness all week, the metallic taste in my mouth, and I also was 13 days late according to my app. Now, I didn't pay being 13 days late any mind because honestly, sometimes my period to do whatever it want to do, and out the blue, it'll just be late sometimes like that. So I dismissed that at first, but my boobs was also sore too, and it was a different type of sore. It wasn't just my nips, it was the whole boob, which is different for me. So I added all that up. Once I seen all them symptoms on that list, I was like, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead and take this test. And sure enough, I was pregnant. So that's how I found out. And that was March 9th, 2020. That's when I found out. So during my first trimester, all the symptoms. So the most immediate symptom that I dealt with, immediately, was night sweats. Night sweats were terrible. Out of nowhere, as I'm sleeping, I would just sweat profusely. So I just started to wear basically nothing to bed. I didn't stop using a comforter and only had a sheet. I had the ceiling fan on. I had an additional fan blowing in my face. It was bad. And when I looked it up, it was saying something about low blood sugar at night. And I'm gonna get more into that when I talk about my diet, but that was one of the most immediate symptoms. Then fatigue. Fatigue during your first trimester is very common, but mine was pretty bad. Doing everyday activities was just not happening. Walking through the grocery store, I would feel like I was gonna pass out up in there. I would just have to make it real quick because it was not gonna be good if I stayed walking up in this store. And just simple stuff like washing dishes, I would break a sweat from washing dishes, and I would just have to stop and take a break. I couldn't wash all of them in one go. It had to be in little sections. Putting groceries up. I remember putting groceries up and having to sit down, like, because I'm about to break a sweat. So my fatigue was pretty bad. And then skin breakouts. Lord have mercy. I had terrible skin breakouts starting around the 5th and 6th week. And it started with these tiny bumps. Then it was started on my forehead, and I tried to take care of it with whatever I had. It wasn't working, so it just pretty much spread all over it, and it was pitiful. I ain't gonna lie, it was terrible, and I could not get it to stop and go away. So I already have acne prone skin anyway. My skin is pretty high maintenance. I go get facials every month. I get chemical peels for the dark spots. And that breakout knocked me back all the way. And I was so sad. But whatever I had at the time did not work. It was crazy. Nothing was working. It just gradually kept getting worse. So I did end up calling my dermatologist, because you have to be kind of careful with heavy acne medications and stuff, because you want to make sure it's safe for pregnancy and nursing. So she did prescribe me 15% azelaic acid. So I do have a prescription for this, and I would say it helped. It definitely helped, so I would recommend it, but it's not like a do-all cure. Like, I'm still looking forward to getting my facials and stuff after I deliver. And the facial wash that helped is the CeraVe SA cleanser. None of my other cleansers were helping. The Cetaphil, the expensive stuff I had, none of that was working, but that showed results immediately, so I highly recommend that. The last big symptom is headaches. I had terrible headaches during the beginning, and it was about a week or so where I had a headache every day, and I was trying to put my finger on it, but it turned out to be water. Water was the cause, lack of water. And once I started to drink more water, those headaches would go away. So I'm still working on that, because my water intake sucks. Like, I just can't make myself gargle down a whole liter of water every day, but at least 4 bottles a day will keep those headaches from coming back. So definitely water helps. So back to the night sweats. When I looked up information about helping with the night sweats, because they were so bad, what I did find was that those night sweats were a sign of low blood sugar. And I really started to get concerned and think more about my diet, because since 2013, I've been vegan and vegetarian. And my whole first trimester, I stuck to my regular vegan and vegetarian diet. But I didn't eat much sugar at all. Like, I didn't eat candy on the regular, didn't buy cookies or anything like that. So I just started to have this internal battle with myself about what my body needed at the time, because the night sweats, as well as faint spells, there were days where I would wake up and immediately feel groggy and drained. And if I tried to just brush it off and just get up and start my day, start moving around, it did not go away. It got worse, to the point where I felt like I was going to pass out. And I had to sit down immediately. I would scare my boyfriend, tell him, like, bring me water, I need something, I need help. But once I started to really get to the root of that, I had to reevaluate my diet. I learned that a vegan or vegetarian diet is not a one-size-fits-all for every phase of your life. And surprisingly, it just wasn't fitting for me during pregnancy. And that was so shocking to me as I contemplated on what my body needed. And your taste buds change, your cravings change. And so second semester, I decided to add fish and chicken back into my diet, as well as increase sugar, specifically at night. And I immediately start feeling better. So I just had to have this talk with myself, and I even talked to other moms on this app called What to Expect. I love that app. It's a very helpful community, and most people just said, do what makes you feel good. So I started to adopt this term that's new to me, but I really resonate with that. And it's called intuitive eating. And intuitive eating is basically just eating what you feel your body needs. And my focus was, how do I feel? And I started to feel great. My night sweats went away. My faint spells during the day went away. I'm getting enough protein that I need, and it's not hard to get with the diet I've adopted now. So that's that. So my diet has changed. I do feel that I'll go back to vegan and vegetarian after I deliver. Well, actually, I'm thinking about starting it in my third trimester to get my body ready to go back to that full time. But all I could tell myself was, you can always detox later. You can always go back and bounce back later. So that is what's different too. So here's my bump. I am 20 weeks and 3 or 4 days today. And I started to see my bump around the 16th week. It started to try to pop out, and it is a boy. So that's all I have for now about my first trimester symptoms. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will come back and update you guys at the end of my second trimester. See you later.